How's it going, everyone? It is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Let's get into the picks from the last video. I gave C as a day trade short, and I mentioned that we want to get in on a pullback for this stock. So we're going to zoom back to yesterday. So here's a market drop. I'm expecting a bounce here, so I said let's see what happens here with C. C was continuing up pretty well. Video came out somewhere over here in the day, kind of late middle of the day here. Stock bounced, and I thought, okay, I mean, this is some long candles, but that's fine. Let's just see what happens here. Stock ended up bouncing, and we never actually quite got the signal that we needed to short the stock. It was above VWAP. It was rolling over, but it was late in the day. So really the move on C was to get this nice chunk over here. So no trade on C. Now, we still have ENTG as a short. Let's take a look at how this guy's doing today. Right on that AVWAP-Q and that 8 EMAs, so we're going to watch that closely. Didn't really drop too much with the market today. AMD is above that level here. It's above that AVWAP-E. So right now, it is bouncing, not as weak relative to the market, so I would like to see AMD break through here and close below this level today. Otherwise, I will be out of the trade. Pins, surprise, surprise, is actually doing decently well here. Has been leaking lower. Is kind of a slow, choppy, little grindy stock. Is what it looks like to me. I want to zoom out a little bit here. And you'll see how after this move, it has been kind of in this little wide bearish channel, just inching lower, inching lower, inching lower. Sellers are in control. We're keeping a level. We're keeping kind of the stock in check here, you could say. Poke below this level, which was nice, and now we're kind of right back at it. So I think it's still in good shape. And I expect it to kind of continue to grind lower. Unfortunately, this low plus trend line is coming up, and it is kind of getting in the way here a little bit. It's reducing our profit targets, so we may have to take profits closer to $28 versus earlier when maybe we could get something like $27.50. So, what is going on today? Well, a couple things. First, we had CPI that came out. And let's take a look at that chart. So here's the CPI reaction, came in line. First, a little bit negative. That's the first knee-jerk reaction. And then we rallied back up to the 50-day SMA, and we opened pretty much at the close of yesterday. So it's a flat open, long red candle. We saw some strong selling earlier in the day. And we pretty much engulfed the entire past 2 days of moves in that first move in the morning. We got rid of September 10th, September 9th, tested all the way down this low here at 540. So pretty strong move initially on the open. Now, a little bit of a higher low. Market is rallying up from this level. Some stacked green candles here. And we're seeing some two-sided price action. Today. So I took some starter shorts earlier in the day, and I was expecting a bounce, and I thought, look, if this is a bearish trend day, then I want to be holding this through until the end of the day. The risk here is if you're wrong about the bearish trend day. So that's why we trade relative strength and relative weakness. But let's take a look at one of the stocks to trade today, which was Target. So Target was grinding lower, broken through its SMA, rallied up a little bit, and now it is actually stalling at its VWAP while the market's rallying up. That tells you that Target will probably drop on the next market drop, so I may add to the position once the market starts to roll over. Later in the day, this move lasted about, pretty fast, about an hour and a half. This move is going a little bit slower, probably about 2 hours, and I believe we will test the high of the day. That's my bias right now, because both buyers and sellers have been active. So high of the day, or at least pretty close to it. That's my guess right now in the market. Do set a price action, and your bias does flip pretty quickly. So this is very bearish here. You have to get in on the reversal of that move. So very bearish here. Break through the downward sloping trend line. Very bullish. And when this trend line breaks, I will also be a little bit bearish. So I'm watching for this to stall out here. We are seeing some more tiny body candles here, some mixed candles. So I think we are getting a little bit closer to the end of the move. Now, zooming back out to the daily chart, you can see that this was a long red candle. Now it's forming a pretty big tail back at a VWAP-Q. That could be a little bit of resistance here, but we're chopping around at intraday, so it'll be more of a magnet. And I mentioned this a couple times that, look, we did get this higher low double top, but I'm not really sure exactly where we are on a technical basis longer term. Fundamentally, I think I'm a little bit more mildly bullish, but technically, I'm kind of neutral. I think we could just kind of go either way here. I'm sticking more to day trading and maybe some short-term swings. We need to see the market hold this 50 SMA over here. If it doesn't hold that level, then we are out. So on a technical basis, again, just not exactly sure where we're going to go. You can see that we've really been, if you take it where we're at from June, right, strip out the highs and lows, we've just been moving pretty much sideways for the past couple of months here, really past 3 months. So the motion has been flat, Okay, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit here to the M30, and then we'll look at some picks for today. So after this big move down, looks like maybe a bit of a selling climax, but get a bit of a bounce, test the top of that long red candle, the open. Also coincides with the 50 SMA, as well as the 8 EMA, as well as the gap fill from 814. So a lot of levels around this 549, 550 point. And we're just seeing some back and forth price action again. So it's a bit of a microcosm of what's happening on the D1. So how do we trade this? How do we take advantage of this? To me, my strategy is we get the first move down. I did take some starter shorts on the notion that this could be a bearish trend day. Now this is a tall bounce, so unless we start really unloading hard and fast, we're probably going to make a higher low. We'll probably at least test VWAP, maybe even break through, depending on how deep that bounce is or how deep that drop is. So I'm looking for relatively weak stocks on this bounce and then relatively strong stocks on a drop as well, right? So relatively strong stocks, because I know we're probably going to get a tall bounce. And I want to get in early in the move. So that way, when this starts to fade, that's when I can get out of the move. 1OP has been pretty spot on over here, and we're getting a 1OP cross right now. So I think we might see a little bit of selling off over here. All right. So what are some picks that we can look at here? So I called out TGT. We're going to find some stocks that are probably in the bottom part of their range. So let's go to one of my searches here. We've got a couple over here. Let's look at Dino. Let's see how that stock is doing. Want to get through that level, so no bueno. CVI does not look too bad. Bit of a cheaper stock, a little bit choppy. Not my favorite pick price action wise. Let's look at KSS. There's some major levels there. VLO. VLO popping back up a little bit. It is also a tad choppy, but it hasn't rallied as hard as other energy stocks. Yeah. Not rallied as hard here. MPC is decent. CC, not too bad here. Not too bad. We traded CC a couple times earlier today. Still some nice selling. Sellers are coming in here, holding this level. Could be a decent short. A lot of volume coming into this bar, so tells me to be careful. I set alert here. If we can get through that low, I think a nice short could set up. Pins we're already in. Let's look at what has some good volume here. KMX broken through, I think, an SMA. Just don't think it's the best setup. Hasn't really separated from those levels. It is doing a decent job of holding down the fort. Just look at PBF. PBF, big drop over here. Also hugging down, hitting that low minus. Let's see what else is coming up. AAL. Okay. Bit of a choppy stock. Reversing here. Look at Bear Grinder. MBLY, Mobileye. All right, hey, that could be a pretty nice short again, right? Getting through a slow of the day, not getting off the deck. I mean, yeah, if it can get through that low of the day, I think that's going to be our short pick for the day. Mobileye, day trade short. Now let's give a couple of long picks here because the market is still rallying up. So I want to see a stock that is holding up pretty well. Starbucks has been really nice. Let's take a look at this chart. Yeah, just been grinding up higher pretty much most of the day here. So there was a nice move here. Get in when the market starts to break up, maybe closer to 11:30, and you could get a pretty nice win on Starbucks over here. VRNA, a little bit choppier. I think Starbucks is your best bet today. Yeah, so a little bit choppier. Not a huge fan of that. FSLR, I am in. So right now it's pulling back a little bit. It's showing some weakness. I do think it'll probably come back up for a bit of a double top here, but we need to see if that times in with the market or if it doesn't quite time in with the market over here. It tends to have some candles, but I like the move on FSLR today. Held the gains pretty well. Got another little round of buying. Selling off a little bit here. So yeah, I mean, Starbucks is a pretty nice long. So Starbucks as a day trade long, and the condition is we want to wait for this market to kind of come back in here. Market to kind of come back in, and then for FSLR, for Starbucks to actually hold up pretty well, kind of compressing here a little bit. Let's bring up that chart again. Yeah, kind of compressed like it did earlier today on the drop, and then ride that move higher. So yeah, I mean, that is going to be your two picks for the day, 2-day trade shorts, Starbucks and Mobileye. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take a look at how these guys did in tomorrow's video.